that. So now they're going to start walking in. Kelly, he's having a constant jiggle of that little cavity towards A. But the minute he spots one, it's going to turn into a rampage. And they've been doing it time and time again. That tripwire is going to catch one, I believe. Sure, it doesn't. He gets away with it. But the Hunter's Fury comes out, and now it's on to...
No way.
Berserk gets one, and now the retake is on for Global.
Gonna get that plant though, but that was extremely chaotic. Scrappy even. But still, GE, a lot to do here for that retake there. Moves quickly into the site as well. Famous first off. We already have the overdrive online as well. Patrick Hu putting in the space, the damage. Shiro positions himself all the way back. It's just so overwhelming when the entirety of Global Esports plays together. Hard to land that shot before finally Crystal shuts him down. And Global Esports gonna get another point to their name. Is looking so good right now.
Yep. Once again, it is going to be Patrick to enter into the side, create the space needed. The minute you hear that phrase from the Neon when the ult is deployed, you have to be scared. You have to be wondering, oh God, where is this guy going to come from? He's going to strike lightning. And even though he was in such a small crunch of that elbow, he was just moving left, right, in that just tiny micro movements to make sure that the Sky NC Slasher does not land a single bullet on him. And then he runs around the side, finishing off the rest as well. The plant, unfortunately, not made for heaven. Boom got uncomfortable there, holding on to the site. And that ended up being a great Global Esports round once again. Now, the setup, of course, is going to be looking to change, I think. Boom Esports have called in a timeout here. And I believe that Six Fingers is going to probably note down, the fact that B has actually not been that heavily guarded so far. Mid has been successful for them. They need to try and hold on to that region as much as possible. And they right now need to find some more picks before they actually enter into a site.
Uni, what do you think so far? What's happening?
I think Boom Esports need to be a little bit more aggressive towards mid. I just mentioned, if they're able to take mid control convincingly, then I think they're going to have a lot of better, avenues to exploit. I feel like they should be able to split better onto the sites that they want to go towards, because the A site mostly has just been from that main region, and they're not able to exploit it the way that they want to by going in just from one straight line. So that's what I think.
Come on, this push is just so aggressive. Look at these two teams just completely push up forward. It's like watching two Rhinos just completely go at it. Famous for one already. That stinger in hand has done a lot of damage. Now Udo-san, he wants to fight. He pushes through those smokes. The cage, excuse me. But Famous, with the showstopper in hand here, Udo-san's timing is just so good. I'm not sure how he survived that actually. For NC Slasher finally knocks him down.
Spike planted.
Poppy here. Forced to buy some time as well. His teammate not close enough. The crossfire set up by Boom Esports is huge. A smoke as well. Very, very hard to try and cross this and try and break this defense. Crystal at least finds one here, but Poppy, he pushes out. Famous is there to answer. But they completely crunch him as well with Berserks as well.
Yeah, pretty solid round from Boom Esports, and that timeout worked to perfection. They understood how exactly this time to take control of that A site and deny Global Esports any sort of, entry into the site. They made them feel uncomfortable. Global Esports were going on the aggressive foot. They didn't want them to let them, go for the plant at all. But Boom seemed to be ready for it. Held off the flood pretty easily, almost, because they had multiple numbers committed to taking that fight. And in the end, it was them to win that round 4-3. And here comes a wide pit to set off that mid into just their hands. That green pit is not going to deny Boom Esports any sort of information and control, which means they're going to have to now focus on the extremities, because flushing Kelly out of that is going to be a nightmare, given that there's a tripwire there to support him as well. And Shiro, once again, up to his no-goodness towards that B main side, and he's actually managed to crawl in. No, he's going to go back.
No, I think it's just more of just trying to get an idea of what to expect here. There's a lot of question marks for Boom Esports there. No clue how this has been set up. Udo-tan, oh, he's playing very aggressively inside of the smoke, waiting in the corner. You also have Master Smoke as well in that corner as well. Logitech completely takes advantage but cannot survive longer than that. Unfortunately for Patchy, who he will be flashed, but he's not done quite yet. Famous nearly goes down. But from the one end here, there's Crystal. Shock darts forward, not enough to put into damage, not enough to take down the members of Boom Esports. They get the plant once again. 2 to 4 retake. Not gonna be the easiest for Global Esports, and they know it. Once again, it's called a save for Global Esports. They're not even gonna try and challenge this.
Yeah, once again, it is going to be a solid beat take from Boom Esports. They had such great pathing, and they made sure that they made Global Esports feel the pressure in the way that they want to, because they're not able to actually hold on these sites. Global Esports, their proactiveness has kind of been now matched up by Boom. They're being able to give them the exact same treatment on the attack side, so it's kind of like tit for tat right now, and they need to probably find, you know, a bit of a difference in this game right now, because Boom are going to continue to play in this style until it, you know, is broken by Global. So I feel like a timeout might be necessary in probably, if not this, then maybe the next. Oh, never mind. As I said, it comes up.
Dang. It's just honestly so interesting to see both these teams go around, right? It's like one end. I mean, again, I think it comes back to a Ascent game when you mentioned, Universe, about how both these teams play so similarly. And I completely agree with you. I'm seeing that mirror mindset come through. It just, honestly, this is the peak Apex style gameplay here. You've seen the firepower come through from Indonesian teams. The same could be said about Filipinos as well. And I love that GE has really kind of leaned into that, going aggressive on both fonts here. Push-pull, yeah, but at the same time, some moments we can see GE sort of play aggressive on both sides as well. But the difference between GE and Boom Esports is that Boom Esports, the way they execute together is just so terrifying. When every single player can shoot, and every single player you can sort of like, I would say, trust to play these aggressive style plays on their own. That's what's so terrifying about them compared to GE, who relies a lot more on being able to trade.
Oh boy. This time I better give them a little bit of clarity as to how they want to move further into this game. Global Esports need to once again defend that B hit coming in from Boom Esports, because they're going in as quickly as possible. It seems gonna expect an initial contact, and there goes a snake bite to make sure that nobody's gonna try any sneaky business. No operator either so far from Patrick, which they have tried before. But it seems like this time around they're gonna wait. The bullets have expired, and here he goes. Famous did get caught off guard, and look at that spray through the smoke.
He's not able to capitalize off that trip. Kelly S is here at the very least. Timing could be huge. No, it's anti-slasher that comes out on top. Yokam gonna quickly find the one lurker to a mid-side area here. Berserk's done and dealt with here. Still, they have to deal with so much here. They have the pit to deal with as well. Moves up forward, slide as well, used already. Poppy will slowly make his way into the smokes. He capitalizes, timing huge to find NC Slasher, but that's not the target he wants to look forward here. Bit more pressure in here. Famous playing very aggressive forward, can win it as well. Poppy, he's to come up forward one by one. The members of Boom Esports falls like dominoes. Despite the advantage of sight, despite the advantage of that pit, somehow Global Esports managed to pull through.
Yeah, the biggest problem here for Boom was the fact that nobody really played outside of the pit. Everybody just kind of committed to allowing Global Esports to surround them across every single angle. Patrick did the best job of going across on the other side of the map and, you know, letting them feel the pressure, firing bullets from every angle. The spawn was taken, Heaven was taken, and they kind of just pincered Boom Esports into that pit. And in the end, one player who needs to stay in there was a Viper. Everybody else could have just gone out and taken control together. But they were just isolated looking at certain angles and got caught off guard. That's completely thrown them. Global Esports this time around do not want to give up B main whatsoever, and have demanded with 3 players going in, firing bullets pretty early on. NC Slasher, on the other hand, has taken ramp control for Berserks and given him a bit of space to play with, as once again Global Esports now calling on for the rotation. Patrick's making his way back towards A, as Crystal actually has sent this drone towards mid, but he's got no information. He's not spotted anybody, so he's unaware of the fact that somebody could have been crawled in from whence.
Heaven side already. Berserk's quick to react off that, but so does Yokam. Here to go, and he sprays and moves out the way, but it's gonna be Dot side and denies him more damage. Smoke's done already, and Udotan from the side itself. Playing so carefully with his cage on the side itself. These are kill trips set up already here. A lot of smokes to work with, a lot of cover as well. But Boom Esports, they're patient. Smoke with windows here. A flash as well. Snake bite. Will they actually check him? No, they don't. Udotan plays so perfectly with his utility. The entire defense A side is his domain. No one crosses through at all. And Famous left all alone here. His position's been noted already by that neural theft. The cam broken. They know he's on ramps. Udotan, he's not done. Bloodthirsty as ever here. No idea that Famous has moved forward here. They push and he falls. And Famous happy with that one pickoff he got as he runs away. Tail between his legs. Trying to bring a gun to another round here. And now, Global Esports extend the lead.
Yeah, they need as many rounds as they possibly can get. You know, 8-4 would be an amazing scenario, all things considered, because of course they are playing on the defensive split, which is considered historically to be the better side of this map. But in the past, Global Esports have also shown that their attack is just as good. And it's going to be difficult for them to this time maneuver against a team like Boom on split, because they're a lot more well-versed to play on this map. Seems like there is a pause at the moment, and Crystal is just gonna probably take a small little bathroom break, and Esports too at the middle of it will just make sure that all their players are feeling, you know, light and good.
Yeah. Here's a little fun fact about the GE house. Back near their water, there's a tiny little note that reminds them what they need to do. I don't remember what it says, but it's like the rules slash what's the word? It's the rules slash the idea or the vision of Boom Esports. No, sorry, of Global Esports. So I was telling Rohit the last time I visited, like every time they go there, they have to be reminded of the integrity of being a pro player.
That's really nice. Wait, you said this is near the water dispenser, right?
Yeah, it's right above the water dispenser.
Okay, it would be really weird if this was in the toilet, you know? Like, imagine you're going to pee, and then when you close the door, toilet, right in front is written, right, imagine you're going to remember what you have to do. Right in front is written, right in front is written, remember what you have to do.
I remembered that.
Like,
it's because, you know,
it's
because I remembered that. It's because it was, you know, it's because Crystal went to go get water. It's because I think, and I'm wondering when he reads that, will that empower Crystal went to go get water? And I'm wondering when he reads that, will that empower him? Will that change the mindset or anything like that? You know, imagine, right? Kind of like an anime moment. I remember now. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of anime recently.
I'm so sorry. I just got another one. You know, this is great motivation again for players. You know, if you want to be a pro player, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very carefully. Yeah? If you want to be a pro player and you want to get in the mentality of getting a pro player, you need to be on your toes all the time, correct? You need to be great at everything you do. So when you feel like you've got to put every aspect of your life into that mentality monster kind of a mood, all you need to do is take a sheet of paper and just write, do it better, and paste it across every room of your house. Even when you go for a bathroom break, you read it, do it better. And then you even do that better.
Okay, in contrast, right? You look at Boom Esports, you have the founder slash owner himself. I think regardless of what esports title, he's always flying out to watch his team play. And right now, Showmatch, he's right there behind his players. What more? How much more motivating can that be? Now, I don't know if you know, Universe, Gary, he's one of the loudest cheerleaders around for the team. He owns the team. He's also the cheerleader for the team. Like whenever he's yelling, everyone stares at him.
Nice. That's very interesting. I like hearing that. Of course, we always need loud cheerleaders. And speaking of loud cheerleaders, it's gonna be Dawson and.
That's a loud opening from Boom Esports. Look how aggressive they are. Quickly taking up space, completely just smothering the site.
Planted.
They can't do anything, Global. Lost 2 players already. Famous eats a bit of damage from that shock dart. Gets a pop-up as well. He does have the new Regen shield as well. But Shiro here playing this corner. His location has been revealed. He's stuck here. Can't do anything. He has to try to isolate these fights here. Hard to move. A flash as well. And Kelly S quickly gets the job done.
Trick shot.
Still, another 3 members to deal with. Kelly S, he puts in the damage. 2-on-2, equalizing numbers. Poppy from the other end. From screens.
One enemy remaining.
Nova piles forward, sharp to the head. One more to worry about. Famous, as these is enough to take him down. 3 HP, but Kelly S brings in the pain. And they get the round. Global Esports. Split looks to be one of their stronger maps, at least for today.
Yeah, I thought initially this is going to fall apart because they lost 2 players so quickly. Boom Esports turned up the pace really fast on that A side right after the pause. But once again, the safety net of Kelly S comes in, getting that double kill on towards main was so important. And then, of course, it was Poppy who delivered the killing blow almost to Famously to deny him any sort of clutch potential there. He was 1 HP basically, and that was a brilliant retake from Global Esports. 7-4, and winning this last round too will just be cherry on top of the cake for them, because this half started off a little bit shaky, but to finish it this strong would give them so much confidence. Boom, once again outside that B main, Poppy's here this time, and he's got himself a little concealed, throwing down another star just to make sure that nobody's gonna come up close and he can isolate these fights. But after throwing down that Viper smoke orb, they're just gonna go back here. The spike currently still in towards mid, so Boom Esports still debating about where exactly this hit's gonna go. I'm not sure what the idea is. They do have information now thanks to the Trailblazer. It's gonna go up towards B heaven, instantly destroyed, and here goes the showstopper.
Here comes already on the other side of sight. Now Famous Recon already shows his location as well. Kelly yes from here, but here comes Patrick Q here. A slide to come forward here. Shiro shuts him down at the very least. But his teammates are still on site, still putting in damage to any of the members of Boom Esports trying to get onto the site. But NC Slasher, the rest, they're thinking about pivoting here. Going toward A site. But they have to worry about the Cypher, the trips, the setups as well. Shiro gonna find his counterpart. But Berserk here is holding. He didn't shoot. Timing. He's on his side here. Crystal wins it in the end. Berserk's punished. And so does NC Slasher. Leaving Shiro on his own. The spike shouldn't be an issue. Getting on there is going to be the problem, as he is not only showed his location away, but also with Udotan and his teammates on heaven. My God, Global Esports, they are completely smothering the members of Boom Esports.
Yeah, it's total domination so far. They've kind of adjusted behind which part of the maps to actually keep control of. And Global Esports realize, as long as they've got mid and these extremities where they can split from in their hands, Boom Esports are going to find a lot of trouble to get into these sites with the amount of, control that they need. They've let the sites be a little bit more empty. They played one player there, yes, but most of the control has been towards that mid region. The attention that Global Esports have constantly been given has given them 4 rounds in a row on defense to put it up to 8-4, giving them the best scenario possible.
This time around, Global Esports, all eyes on to B main here.
Scout destroyed.
Immediately spotted out by that Trailblazer, but doesn't really deter Patrick Hu at all. Straight to the backside already. His teammates, unfortunately, not able to follow through quite yet. They know already here. And just shoots them in the face one by one. Berserk to get one, but he immediately trades back. Global Esports. Incredible firepower. Shiro against a 3. He could try and isolate. But GE, they look like they have protocols. Look at that. 2 playing from main, 1 toward the other back of sight. As soon as he crosses, a high-low setup and a crossfire as well. It's not easy. But still, Shiro gonna try a quick peek. And there you have it. Global Esports gonna quickly take this round and bring it to a 9.
Yeah, solid start here. Absolute burst down. The flood was insane. They just plagued Boom Esports as if they had no time to actually adjust. The players who were playing on Heaven got 1 second to kind of jump down into Hell and support the players on site. But DOS9 just not ready for that outswing and wide. And the rest of GE let the wall drop down, fight together the minute, the Patrick had control of backside. And just really good stuff, where to peek, when to peek. On point. But we've seen them get eco'd before, and I don't hope to see it now. Good initial contact onto B main to deny Boom Esports any sort of information. But the smoke comes in retaliation from DOS9, and that's going to just slow down Global Esports for a bit. Yuratan back to his usual nuisance of keeping that A main in control by himself, as Patrick currently has been left to just stand in mid and hope for the fact that Boom Esports pushes up and gives Global Esports a free pickoff, but not going to be the case at the moment.
Shots about here. Berserk's completely capitalizes playing with his teammates over on ramps now. Quickly changes there, gets a bit of an upgrade as well, because his smoke's already set down onto B main as well. As he slasher, his timing might be good here if he's lucky. Spots out that drone, tries to break it, so his presence has been noted there onto mid area, and GE thinks twice about trying to go up there. But the rotations are already coming through here from the members of Boom Esports. Full control of Heaven already. No idea what's behind those screens. It's two. Yes only goes in hand here. And Famous with the Bucky. Of course it's gonna be the Bucky.
Left.
2 to his name. Poppy's timing could be huge. Good for 1 already. DOS9 knocked down. Crystal gonna go up those ropes there. Bringing attention onto Heaven's side. But here's Poppy on the other end. Playing perfectly behind the pillar. There's still Shiro to worry about. 13 seconds to go. Shouldn't be a problem getting the spike onto the site, but Shiro only has a shorty in hand. Tries to put the damage in. Can't do more than that, and here's our first ace of the day, Poppy! What a statement play.
Yeah, it came on the back of a little bit of scrappiness from Global Esports. They didn't expect that Bucky up close and personal. He swung out there and got 2 Famazine in the end, got a little scary, and Poppy really lucky to readjust, because why? Famazine took out his knife right before he saw his teammate fall down, and that's exactly why Poppy survived there. Otherwise, Crystal would have been in a 1v2. Global Esports genuinely lucky to win that round after what just happened. They shouldn't have, but they did thanks to Poppy being a little bit aware of positions and just a touch of luck coming his way. So they need to be careful about how they approach this, because this is not the first time Global Esports have had, scrappy anti-eco rounds. They're good on the pistols themselves too, but they cannot get, they cannot get to a position where they lose players in multiple numbers like this, like they just did in the previous one. 3 they lost, dropped a bunch of weapons, and now they're gonna have to reinvest, as you can see.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Coming into this one, I think it's so interesting that you mentioned that as well, right? It's just a matter of like this individual brilliance that's coming in through the team as well. But at the same time, as you said, Universe, I don't think, getting picked off that early very, very soon is the way here for GE. But it is something that they want to try and fix eventually.
Initial contact, once again, pretty similar, and they've got 3 players here, but what they don't expect is up and down system. Smoke comes off.
Oh my god, it's a bloodbath on B main! Patrick, who still very much healthy and alive, peeks forward, smokes off Heaven. Now he lies in wait. Poppy's here as well already. They have the Cypher just roaming onto it mid-area here, Udotan. His timing could be massive. Shiro is making sure that he could cross safely with that orb. Pokes up his head here and sees Slasher. Gonna be happy that he's able to just move out the way safely. Enough info as well.
Gotta go. Spike drop.
The plant's gonna come down, and that's gonna be no problem. They've heard the tap in, and
Spike
Udotan's
planted.
kind of repositioned as well. He's gone in towards B main. Throws in a trap wire for the flank just in case. Spawn's been cleared out from NT Slasher, and now Boom have plenty of information that this has to be either pillar, backside, or B main.
Free fire from Udotan. Flash just to confirm everything here. And oh my
enemy
god! What on earth was that? But Shiro gonna quickly capitalize here. Poppy forced to hold on his own, but NC Slasher is there. Not too sure what the idea was between Patrick Hu, but oh, that's just so unfortunate. He got a bit too aggressive there.
Boom Esports did really good job of clearing out initial angles towards mid and CT to make sure that nobody actually was there in these positions. And Global Esports are rescinded. They kind of should have taken the aggressive control to maybe fight Boom Esports on these cavities, but they just chose to play towards back of side, pillar, and B main. Play on the back of double swings, but unfortunately for them, they just couldn't adjust their aim to the right position at the right time. That's going to lead Boom Esports to their 5th round. 10-5, still, of course, Global Esports double the lead away from where Boom currently sit upon. They've got the Cosmic Divide as well, and mid seems to be a point of contention for GE. Shiro, the only one here, puts up his Viper to protect him and make sure that he can clear his close angles.
There.
Smoke from DOS9 follows as Global Esports now maybe look to reconvene with
Scout destroyed.
Yudotan and might go for an A split, it seems like.
Oh man, that does not bode well. Udotan caught with his pants down here. But look at where the concentration of Global Esports players are. Straight onto heaven. Berserks is ready for him. Shiro here. Unfortunately, Poppy was there. Quick swing and a pop is just all he needs here. Moving and weaving on the side itself through the smokes, and GE putting that pressure onto the smokes as well. A good read forward. There is the pain shells just to deny the plants, but it doesn't stop it. Not enough at the very least. Positions all around here, all the way on the back of side pillar, B main as well. Quick TP from DOS9. Gonna catch someone off guard? No. It's Kelly S that comes up on top here. Good protocols from GE. Crossfires layers, in fact. It is so hard to break this defense. Boom Esports gonna raise up their hands and concede defeat as Kelly S at least gonna find Famous as he leaves the site itself. And for Boom Esports, left in a position where they're just scratching their heads. No clue how to deal with this. They don't check it. By the end of the day, it's gonna be NC Slasher. Gonna find 2 pickoffs as a consolation prize. Getting away by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that Yudotan getting caught out here would be a problem, but GE's instant response of losing that player there is going to be go towards that B side with full conviction. Only problem that Boom had this time around, making individualistic plays, getting a little desperate to find some form of an advantage. Forced Berserks to pop out of that smoke, made DOS9 put that, shrouded step on top of boxes on the left side of B main, and that's given GE their 11th round. Now, I think there's a timeout here called in. I'm pretty sure. Yep, Six Fingers has called it in, and he's not happy with the way that these rounds have been trickling down for GE and against his team. But the biggest comforting factor right now for Boom Esports should be the fact that they can continuously catch Yudotan off guard on that A main position, because there's literally 90% of the times that he's alone there, and if they're able to cut him off once again, they should be able to play good retakes on that B side, considering that this time, Berserks and DOS9 don't give up their life one by one.
You know, it's kind of giving that same energy from that first map, right? With Udotan playing on in front of B, and then he's getting punished over and over again there. It's giving the same thing, and I'm really wondering if there is going to be, I don't know, a change or an adjustment on how exactly they approach how they play there. I mean, I'm seeing the positions there. He's still playing A main. He has his trips there, as you tilt there. But this time around, it's Patrick Hu with him.
Yep. He's got support, and Poppy's gonna join them as well as he's running over there. But this time, I think they're trying to bait out. I think the fact of the matter is Global Esports kind of read into the fact that Boom might maybe try to catch the Cypher once again. So they've given up a little bit of backup, actually a whole lot of backup. Everybody's here from Global Esports. Initial pieces of information thrown towards B main, and now this ultimate from Patrick could probably be the game changer.
Trailblazer only spotting one here. Unfortunately, Yokam is being spotted. Udotan quick to answer. NC Slasher, big damage, and so does Patrick Hu. A bucky to the face. That is cold. In fact, he swaps it to a Vandal. Shiro here Timing not on his side. Gonna try see if he can flank these players. No one's watching the backside. Hell yes. Timing was just so good for him. Dwindled down to only 22 HP. That is overwhelming for Boom Esports to deal with. How explosive this team can be.
Yeah, Berserk's just saving a Bulldog here. It's more of a time for them to decide how exactly they're going to approach this final round or final few rounds, because Global Esports now have 6 chances at the bare minimum to shut this game down. And Boom Esports' economy is kind of favoring that factor a lot more than it was in the previous rounds. Seems like Patrick's just trying to troll around with Crystal, but Crystal... He's not one to be, you know, faced by bullets like these.
He's not phased.
You know, he only turns if the bullet makes a big sound like the op. Classic bullets don't do anything to him. He's basically he's basically invincible. Yeah, he's invincible to classic bullets. It needs to be something
Plot
bigger.
armor,
You cannot touch Crystal like that.
Oh yeah. You know what? I thought the big guns were his thing. Maybe saw the damage he did on map 1, right?
Wait,
How
wait,
exactly
what?
he approached this.
Wait,
what?
The big
What?
oh, you mean the Odin? I thought you were he takes up the operator. Like no.
This goes here.
No, the big guns.
I can already see the chat going up in the whole different colors of this iteration. Well,
My bad,
variations
G.
of what you just said.
Regardless, another set play there. Immediately shock dart to Snakebite, and immediately as well they have an orb onto heaven. So Boom Esports immediately call red alert. But it's gonna be mid area is where Global Esports gonna try and approach this take from.
Well, they've kind of stopped in their tracks now. Global Esports just gonna take their slow, sweet time to finish off this game. But Boom are keen on finding information. They're getting desperate to just kind of get some sort of control on this map. And that's already actually accessed them. The fact that the Seekers have been deployed. Global Esports hear that, and they're heading into the BA set already. Berserks is here, and he's gonna just have to play a little safe.
Overdrive already online again. Famous gets hell yes, but they do trade. Punish for taking up too much space there. Crystal. Location already been revealed, as so has the other members here. Poppy, whoa, through the smoke straight. Finds DOS 9. Surutan from a corner. Great protocols coming through here from GE. NC Slasher gonna find one before Crystal shuts him down. Global Esports showing us dominance on split.
Man,
Incredible stuff.
Absolutely, indeed, it was incredible, and they've done really well to make sure that Boom feel the pressure on their own map pick. Ascent was a lot closer, but Split is a statement victory from them to pull their map right under their noses. And this is going to head us into Bind, which I'm really excited for now, because this is going to be the first time we see Global Esports on Bind. And I'm just looking forward to what exactly is going to be their composition, what's the game plan, and everything that comes under the sky with that. But for now,
you know, coming
Boom
in
Esports, yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, you finish it 1st. Go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say Boom Esports, I think that a lot of their problems arose from the fact that the team fights that they were first initially taking in that first half was working really well for them. They were good with, you know, forcing Global Esports to push out on a certain part of the map and then instantly kind of, you know, do a ring around behind them and take the space under their own home turf. And then they play around that, and they were able to make sure that Global Esports felt the equilibrium of, if you take control of one part of our side, which we usually take, we're going to force you into uncomfortable positions from our end. But then Global Esports flipped the switch, and in the entire game, they've only given them, I think, one round after they put up, I think, 7, 8 in a row. I'm not sure how, and 9 in a row, actually.
Okay, I was gonna say, Uni, what was interesting for the fact of this match is like a complete mirror score from yesterday. 13-5 against RA, and 13-5 here today as well. And I think it's really amazing seeing how exactly they approach this map. I think Split is a very tricky map to play. There's a lot of heavy, I would say, control turret mid area here, and I think they played it to perfection, understanding how exactly to take this mid area. They're very patient in how they want to do things. they are patient. They have players such as Patrick who just completely just W keys forward, takes up space. Yes, he falls, but his teammates are there for the quick trade as well. So it can be very overwhelming dealing with players who are playing, agents as quick as this Neon.
Absolutely. And I believe that they're going to be continuing that trend unless, of course, Patrick picks up the Raze on the next map. As of course, Bind is known for that Raze pick. But hey, we've seen these teams to pick up, seen this team particularly to pick up different comps. Who plays a Sova Neon on Split and plays it this well at that as well. So they've got their, a little bit of a tangent that they follow, and they love being that different team on every single map, even on the Sin, right? But for now, there is a question on Boom's head. Are they going to swap players here? Is Lilo gonna come in? Because he did play the Bind really convincingly the last time in the previous tournament.
Oh yeah, he did.
Or is Famazine gonna continue with that race? Because Famazine didn't really have that great of a split right now.
I mean, to be fair, I believe that for Boom Esports, Lilo was only there as a stand-in for Predator League. I don't think he's part of the initial roster here. So, he was there just to really kind of band-aid the situation for him. But regardless, they still played very well, going 13-10 against La Familia. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to play this same comp, because coming from what we've seen today, Lilo is just completely just filling in for Famous. So it's going to be the same comp, I believe. At least I think so, because the last time they played was just so recent. It was like 9th November. So I'm not sure if they really had enough time to really truly change how they play. I would be surprised if they did though. But why break what's not broken? I mean, with Bind, we've seen Famous on the Bind. I mean, yeah, they do struggle on Bind, but at the same time, the amount of firepower Famous brings onto that map with the with the Raze is also something to behold as well. We've seen it already on how he plays it during Ascension. Regardless, guys, we're going to go for a quick break. After this, we're going to be seeing the third map between Boom Esports and Global Esports. Do not go anywhere, because this is not something that you want to miss. welcome back, everyone. This is Global Esports Face Off, and this is a very interesting one coming through here from these two tier 1 teams. Before going in and showcasing what they've got in terms of roster, what they have in Pacific coming in in the future, they are already showing it here. Both teams showing displays of excellence, and now we are seeing a 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely. We're heading into a third map of Bind, which is going to be really exciting because Global Esports have not played this so far, apart from Pearl as well. So I'm looking forward to what they can bring on the table here. Is it going to be single duelist once again, Neon? Are we going to see a Raze on play? Or are they going to throw in another new agent on this comp? I'm going to be asking a lot of questions during this game as well to see what exactly is going to be the game plan, how they're going to go in forward. But of course, we will be having the big man, the main man himself, telling us a little bit about what we can expect from this map. Juby's going to be coming on in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But Tash, Bind was just recently played for Boom Esports, and they played a pretty simple comp there once again. You know, they had the single duelist Raze, they had a Sky and Brim, Viper and Cypher. But what do you think Global Esports will play?
You know what? Let's ask the coach himself, Juvenile. He's here already. Now, coming into, I mean, when you talk about these things about Juvenile, right? I think that what's really impressive about him has been, like, I think his track record on Leviathan as well, and I'm glad to see him bring his expertise here to Global Esports themselves. Now, Juvenile, you had an incredible split. Can you walk me through what makes you guys so confident on that map?
Yeah, I mean, they picked it, but yeah, just we've had really good practices on that map with that comp. It works really well for us. We have a pretty good understanding of how to be proactive, when to be proactive, and yeah, it's definitely something that I think, you know, we'll be good on that map to go forward.
Well, Bind has been a map that, you know, you've not played so far, but you've kind of, you know, not had a problem with it coming in the, you know, map veto as well. So what can we expect from Global Esports on Bind?
A cook, but let's see if it's burnt or it tastes good. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
All right.
You know what? I like that answer. Okay, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen VODs, right? I'm sure you guys are prepared for Boom Esports, especially since they have VODs very, very recently from Predator League, Indonesia, coming into that day. But granted, the fact it was played with Lilo instead of Famous, do you think it's going to be very different, the Boom Esports with Lilo and the Boom Esports with Famous?
No, it's they're very similar duelists. They play similarly. It's a pretty plug and play for them, I think, and that's why you see them bouncing back and forth a little bit. We've played against Famous and Lilo and scrims both, so yeah, it should be good, man. Boom is they're playing the Gen G comp, right, with Cypher, so it should be interesting, and it's interesting to see how our comp's going to do against it.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see what you guys have been coming up with. You know, I'm not sure if it's the same thing that I remember what I saw earlier on, but if it is the same thing, I'm really, I'm gonna be grateful to see that. But yeah, I do want to ask you, you know, Ascent, of course, was a map that you picked. You didn't go your way. Split, they picked it. You were a lot more dominant on it than they could have been. And now on Bind, do you feel like you're going to be running away with the momentum here? Or do you feel like because they had the chance to pick up Bind instead of Haven, do you feel like they've got an upper hand against you? Or are you going to continue with the same confidence as you did?
No, definitely confidence. That's sort of the point. You always want to play with confidence. You always want to play the more aggressive team. You always want to be the aggressor, not the one getting pushed on. So yeah, we'll still be playing with confidence. And I think if we can start out the map strong, you know, win pistol, maybe win a bonus, then I think the momentum could be a thing for sure. So it's really going to come down to these first couple rounds, whether the momentum carries or whether it doesn't, right? So I guess we'll see.
Okay, so can you give me a number from 1 to 10 about how confident you are about winning Bind?
I'll give it a good 9. Fuck it, a good 9.
Okay,
a 9. Okay, I like that.
Started for a second.
I'm always confident though. I'm always confident though, you know.
All right, we love a confident man. Thank you so much, Juvenile, for that interview. Good luck for that next map, and I'm really excited to see you know, what you can cook in that map as well. I mean, Universe, what do you think? I mean, before that, thank you so much, Juvenile.
Bye-bye, guys. GE winning.
Bye.
GE winning. Love it. Okay, now coming into this one, Juvenile. he gave a solid 9. And then just now we talked to someone and they said they have a bad feeling about today. Do you believe the coach's intuition or do you believe the viewer's intuition?
I believe the coach right now, because we're heading into a map with a pretty interesting history for global esports, right? So, of course, we're gonna be expecting single. I was gonna say single controller. Damn. Okay. Sorry for giving you trauma, guys. I hope we're gonna see double controller, if at all anything.
Okay.
No more single controller Viper. We're past. My God, look at DOS9. Damn, he looks so. Yo, he
I
looks
was
scary,
gonna
dude.
say this is the coolest intro picture ever.
Yeah,
Do you
shout
remember
out
last
to
year's?
our global esports, the entire staff, man, the entire content team, the
So
graphic designers,
cool.
everybody. Amazing work.
I was gonna
And yes,
say you
it is. Wise
Oh.
is here. Let's go. I'm so excited. Let's go. The Wise play with a neon clove fade. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. Let's go.
You sound so happy.
I am. I love having to see Wise here.
I mean, we don't see Vice played enough, right? So I am completely with you here. I think Vice. Okay. Vice on bind. Break it down for me, Uni.
I really love Wise because the agent really allows you to control extremities really well, right? Because that wall that you've got is actually such a great piece of information, just a great piece of utility to not just isolate fights, but the fact that let's say you put it on B long, right? You're playing on defense, you put it on B long, you're gonna instantly have to, you don't need to worry about that because you put it deep. The range of you deploying that there's quite a bit of distance. So if you deploy it deep, you don't even need to worry about it because you'll instantly know that there's some distance between the players of Boom Esports coming in close to you and where the wall currently was just triggered. So it's really great to control the extremities of both A and B, especially showers and B long. I'm just excited to see how Kelly's is going to put this into play and how it's going to work.
Well, we shall see. Ooh, GE. An aggressive stance here, Universe.
Yeah, they are playing an aggressive stance, but they've instantly gone back. They just took a bit of an extra step. And they're like, okay, you know what? Maybe you can just hold off for a second. Crystal does have a sheriff in his hand. Oh, and once crawled through, it might be
There we go,
not
Patrick.
good for him because the stun's there.
Oh, that's perfect, actually. Crystal taking advantage of the distraction set up by his teammate here. Boom Esports, they're quick to answer back. But the crunch coming in from the member of Global Esports is incredible. Coming in from both showers and main as well. Look at this. All Patrick Hu did was just become that annoying fly that their crosshair has to deal with, leaving Crystal to pop heads in the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was just ready for it. I did have a bit of a timing miss there. They're lucky to the fact that Boom Esports didn't really kind of just shoot their heads while they were standing on short. And now they've instantly changed up the setup. Kelly S has taken his entire cavalry to that A site, whereas Boom Esports, they're running onto B, Hookah, and all 5 of them are gonna burst into Crystal's face.
Crystal barely survives with his life, and the C's actually gets 3 as well. No follow-up, just enough to buy time. Oh no, Patrick Hu playing that corner to perfection, but Boom Esports, they still break onto the site. Aggressive as ever here. Only good for 1 though. There's Patrick Hu down. All eyes on site. Corners smoked off main already here. Now, it's just about waiting off that utility. DOS9 has 1 corner watched, and Kelly S has to watch close, has to worry about container as well. But immediately that haunt will be broken. Kelly S comes up to the side as well. Crystal wall bangs Berserks to death. But DOS9 with that classic, a right click straight to Kelly S's face. Now Poppy here on the top side, and Crystal is the one to get 2, 3 to his name, but still a costly round for Global Esports.
Yeah, once again, Global Esports just a little bit uncomfortable with these eco rounds, it seems. They're just not able to keep their own with multiple numbers standing. It is another scrappy win. It's something that they need to kind of fix. And I feel like with them expecting how this entire round, whatchamacallit, the entire scenario of them playing eco rounds goes, they need to try and play a little bit more together instead of spread out the way they did in the previous round.
Wow, Global Esports already just rushing up forward there. A lot of attention to the alt orbs actually. Just trying to deny that, and even then, Crystal has managed to get the Nightfall already.
Yeah. They do have the arc rose towards long if they want to fight it. I'm not sure if it's been spotted, but a great shot from Yudotan. And they've instantly lost a player. Throws in the Razer wine to keep things close, but Yudo's going for the fight.
Oh, that's special 5 HP timing. Unfortunately, NC Slasher was ready for him here. Kellyas, he's put in his thorns already onto long as well. Gonna open it, just deny that space onto Boom Esports.
Kelly still jump peeking that. He's still got the arc rose to fight here, but it's gonna be spotted in a second because he's gotten away from that angle. So the flash, I don't think is gonna help him too much, because they are now too far up close to be affected by that. Smoke goes down. Arc Rose is going to be affected. He will get information that there's players here, as the rest of Boom actually run in towards the A side, and it's a teleporter play. Crystal finds the first kill.
There's Nightfall. Set down already. Gonna tag 2 or 3 players, not too sure. Haunt destroyed already, but it's still enough space for them to work together. It's gonna be DOS9 to fight Electric 2 in the end here. Putting the damage. Movement is just so good. Poppy straight finds Shiro. And now it's Kellyas against the world, but he cannot hold on. And Boom Esports, they get the round. 2 players still alive. That means 2 rifles to bring to the next round.
Yeah, good damage from Global Esports in this round. A bunch of ultimates committed, so Boom Esports can consider this a good victory, even though they survived by just 2 players. They, you know, got Crystal's Nightfall up pretty early on, and they've built up to the Orbiter Strike for DOS9 as well. He just needs 1 more orb. But Yuratan, he himself too, by the way, who's had a role change again, he's playing on that Clove. He's allowed to play a lot more aggressive, and he loves that aggressive positions for himself because he was, of course, and has the blood of a duelist.
Buying space with that Arc Rose as well. He already had the Snake Bite as well. Kellyas gonna deploy those Thorns. Berserk's here, his positioning. He could go for 2 even. Nearly does. Patrick, who finally gets knocked down as well. Berserk's very, very patient with these pickoffs, and the rest of Boom Esports quickly teleport to the A site.
He's up and close personal. He's gonna have the first contact here, but the problem is gonna be that shower region because Boom are gonna burst into it in any second. Shiro just holding on to see if Global Esports make any movements.
No, Poppy. It's gonna fall finally, but look at Boom Esports. The trades are just too good here. The same could be said about Global. Urutan went to his name already. Gets a refresher. Smokes. Deny him vision. Right click forward. Spots out that camera. Finally gonna remove that dart. I think for him, I'm just gonna try and attempt going up here onto the site, but positions of Boom Esports is kind of hard to deal with. U-Haul's Heaven. Spot out already. No one's actually peeking either. He's smoked out. He's gonna try to push through. I think at the end of the day, decides it's not worth it. And let's call a save here for now.
Yeah, good call to make the save as well. Didn't have to give up anything. He has an ultimate. He can use that weapon with for the next round and be kind of the hero player for the next. He's got good amount of shields as well. Doesn't even need to reinvest into shields. 32 is more than enough for him because he can drop to a teammate with the money that he's going to be able to, you know, suffice for this round. Just want to have a look at the scoreboard as we will be able to see. Yep, there it is. And yeah, he's got money to probably drop in a Spectre if at all Global Esports decide to, you know, force him to play a little bit more aggressive, to maybe give it a little bit of support system, but doesn't seem the case. One thing I think is going to work is probably getting Patrick that orb on towards showers. I think that's the game plan right now. That's why he's got a full shield. They're going to get him that win condition of the overdrive, and that's maybe what they're looking to play with this round.
Aggressive smokes as well, just to deny that B long area as well. But Urutan, He's gonna be trying to go on an adventure here out onto sand. Gonna find nothing here. Berserks has been doing quite a good job of just staying hidden, being very patient to catch anyone in that mid rotation.
Esports heading back towards long. The Arcros is there to support them for a fight. Nate comes in. The flash is not going to attack anybody. And the fight goes to Yudotan. He's gone pretty low now. Might want to decide to switch up the weapon, but he still, of course, has the ultimate. Boom are playing this really smart. They don't want to give Yudotan anything. That's their whole point. They don't want to give Yudotan anything. They don't want to give Patrick anything because they know these ultimates could potentially make Boom lose the round. And now Poppy is very up and close personal in the smoke, and he's going to go straight down.
I'll find you.
The hunt up. Gonna quickly be destroyed as gonna be so many members inside of you. Oh my god! Crystal for one. Udotan already back in the game, not dead yet. Finds the corner here, gonna come back alive. Also just blind sprays into the smokes, but here comes the overdrive, shut down so quickly by Shiro. Udotan weaving in and out of those smokes. Almost disgusting to see actually. Not sure they had noted the positioning of NC Slash here, playing together high-low, and it's perfectly played. Global gonna get one round ahead of Boom Esports.
Yeah, the biggest issue here for Boom Esports was the fact that they just let Showers go for free. Denying that control, knowing that Patrick could get this ultimate, even though he had no real value from it, he did enough to create the space for his team. He did enough for Yudotan to activate his not dead yet and make sure that his absolute chaos came into control with the rest of the team playing around him. Like I said, those two ultimates will be the win conditions for Global Esports in this round, and they played it perfectly. It doesn't matter how Patrick died or what Patrick did. It's about how Yudotan utilized the space that was created by the overdrive, and he did it really well.
Eyes onto Showers this time. And again, I'm liking this initiative by Global Esports to just really feed those orbs forward to the teammates just to really make these big punch ultimates happen. But this time around, Boom Esports is the one to completely take over Showers this early.
Launching smoke.
Yeah, they should have done this the previous round, honestly, to deny any form of orb control. Realized this mistake and gotten the orb practically for free now. The entire cavalry right now on the A site. Patrick's been called to rotate over here. They've got the Razer mines to clear off any close corners towards U-Haul and close A short site. But how are they going to take this control? Because that wall is still there.
Thorns, Orbital Strike, there's so much going on right now. Poppy from the smokes, but Boom Esports, yeah, Famous, just completely pushing through and obliterating the defense. Instead of smokes, Kellyas holding, gonna find one on benches. He's not done quite yet. Immediately rushes away, hides in the corner, but Famous is out for blood. Kellyas also falls to him. And from heaven, you have Crystal just trying to put in pressure. But they're doing a good job of staying alive here. Famous from triple, the rest falling down, and Crystal finally wallbangs him to death. Udotan finally reaching into the smokes itself, taking a lot of damage, and in fact, a shot to the face by Shiro. He's flashed already. Crystal inside, all alone here, swaps the gun. He's just spraying and praying here, but he's not getting any value from it. Time is clearly not on his side, and he eventually concedes.
Yeah, saving once again. Global Esports have to concede number 3 here. Could not get enough value. Famazine doing God's work over there with that ultimate, especially taking out Kellyas, because I think he was getting ready to deploy the Steel Garden so that they could just run into the Viper Spit and take fights as they needed, right? And that ultimate came in clutch at the right time to make sure that the Vise just could not deploy her ultimate. Otherwise, it would have been really difficult to fight in that Viper Spit.
Honestly, it's just so surprising how they just really just walk through, take up that space. But this time around, it's Famous that is the one that's putting in the firepower, putting in that pressure, you know? The way he plays, the way aggressive. I mean, we talked a bit about Famous on this map right just now. But this time around, it's gonna be... What on earth is happening right now? Bitch, go! Straight to their spawn? Hello!
Okay, well that happened. Udotan's got his eye on the remaining 3 players over here. through hookah, so he's gotten control. He can call out to them that these guys could teleport away, but there's still one inside that elbow region. And famously, now he's completely disconnected from the entire map. He's gonna have a really long rotation here, covering every single angle, covering his tracks. But until that happens, Global Esports are gonna attack the A side with full force.
They can't plant default either. It's planted behind the truck. Famous spotted out by Poppy, but here comes the Steel Garden as well. Udotan shot to the head. Doesn't really matter whether or not they have the guns here. Yeah, Patrick Drew, Patrick Drew with 3 kills to his name already. Famous stuck onto heaven all alone. And Global Esports, they make this round a quick one.
Well, that was quite the round, man. How quickly they ran in through to their
No
spawn.
way.
One of them was stunned, and of course he jumps up and finds the other. Absolutely amazing stuff here. Patrick just making up for the 2 rounds that he tried to do some stuff on, and here it finally works. He's gonna be really happy with that.
Man, but you know who's having a great game right now? It's Crystal. He's just playing in
Absolutely.
the backside. Yeah, I mean, when you have players like Udotan, like Kelly S, like Patrick Hu, that's able to play in the front lines, giving you so much space, just do what you do best, just shoot. It's so good, honestly.
Oh, Crystal, first contact could come his way.
No more dreams.
Oh, massive. Little off angle as well. This is gonna completely pop Berserk's head here. Okay, Chelsea play backside. Just wall banging it. Crystal does take a bit of damage, but not enough to take him down. Patrick, who he's thinking about swinging here.
Spike down, B.
Lost 9 downed, and so does NC Slasher. Famous
Ooh.
barely gets the spike back with his life. Buy some time with the Roomba. Of force the other members of Global Esports back, but might potentially be a re-hit here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try and be a little bit careful. And look at that, the timing
Oh,
is
they took a
perfect.
bait.
He gets the first, and he's have to go down there. He did good job of at least getting one, but Global Esports stabilize instantly and don't lose more than a single player. It was an eco, of course, for Boom Esports, so not too much lost here, but not too much gained either. Now, we're looking at Global Esports to try and maybe be their aggressive self once again. They can put the aggression into more play, pressure Boom Esports as much as they can, make them feel uncomfortable as they did in the first round. But it seems unlikely by their setup at the moment. They do have Webcam playing on A, and Shower is maybe the only thing they're going to control. On the opposite end, they will have the Cypher swing by them, as Boom, right now, looking to play a bit more default and wait for some information.
Same setup for the defense for Global. I don't think they're interested in changing anything much. A lot of control onto B long as well. Still, look at how many are in showers.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, he's been spotted. They know his cam's here, so they know he's outside showers. But Boomer trying to set up a bit of informational dump towards that B site. They deployed a flash, and now that's gonna let Shiro maybe lurk in. Unfortunately for him, Kelly's got an absolute mammoth setup here. Triggers the wall, gets back. Razor Vines are gonna be activated, and that's actually a great bounce off of utility, because now Kelly has to play on his aim. He's got nothing else to work with.
Pressure into the smokes as well. Shiro luckily did not get tagged here, but Boom Esports waiting for the right time, just completely burst into sights. But Global Esports, they're aware already. They've already sent 2 more rotating over. Majority players there. Kelly S putting in the hurt, the pain, and does take Famous in down. NC Slasher is still waiting, trying to make sure no one has completely breached inside of showers as well. Kelly S all the way from heaven. Now, chip damage all around here for both teams.
Have one of these.
But it's all about finding that right timing here, and immediately Berserk goes down. NC Slasher, what are these shots? Dots 9 as well. Unfortunately for Udotan, not dead yet. Doesn't really matter when you have someone like Berserk's holding on to the space of showers.
Yeah, it did really well at Berserks to make sure, even if he got the second, push up, he peaked it confidently. He didn't give it up. a little bit of a miss here as to where exactly the plant was coming down from Global Esports. But NC Slasher's lurk on the inside that little Cypher cage was immense. 2 big kills, and nobody was ready for it. They were checking U-Haul at the moment. They're expecting that somebody to actually crawl in from there. But the problem that arose was that Global Esports had actually put the Nightfall there, and they got no information. So it's confusing to me why somebody would check that so late in the round, because they knew that the Nightfall went all the way towards A short.
Aggression all around here from A short. Taking down Crystal this early.
I know exactly where.
Both teams doing a good job of just keeping each other back here. Just a dump of utils all around. Neutral theft activated already. And Boom Esports make a beeline for B side. Excuse me. Smoke set up already here. Kelly S completely just running onto the area, just trying to meet his teammates. Playing these corners. Shiro just gonna play inside the smokes here. But Shiro gonna fight Urotan there. Does he know there's one more closer is the question there. Do buy some time with that Molly as well here. Shiro has not been moved. This is Poppy. All he can do is just put in all that pressure inside of that area. Flash as well. Going to confirm the positions of Patrick Hu as well as his teammate. This Poppy is still being very patient, just waiting for those smokes to dissipate. All eyes onto the site already. Setups and crossfires all abound. Now you only have one more player here. Patrick Hu trying to slide forward. Survives. He's gonna try and see if he can get an exit frag. And then finally, the white flag goes up and they give a round away.
Yeah, they have to just save these weapons and let Boom get away with the 5th. It's been going toe for toe so far. Boom are not giving up, you know, any part of the shop just yet. Famazine's been doing really good work in some of these rounds, and then when he is not able to, players like NT Slasher and Berserk stand up, and they're doing, honestly, God's work to make sure that, you know, Global Esports have a tough competition here, have a tough time. The call's been made from Juvenile. He needs a little bit of time to talk to his team and to just give them a little bit of instruction as to what exactly, you know, is the plan of action for the next 1, maybe 2 rounds, because they do have an ultimate on Patrick. That means he can kind of transfer his weapon over to another, and I'm kind of suspecting another aggressive round to come on the back of this Tash.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. I've just been looking at Gary. He's been scrolling through memes. I'm wondering what memes he's looking at. Hey, anyone want to guess?
Probably the latest patch note memes. I don't know, man. Somebody getting
latest patch note memes
honestly,
is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you. One thing I really have been enjoying is Muda. You know Muda, right?
Muda? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love Muda.
Yo, Muda, his impressions of the agents when they do the neon thing.
I mean, have you seen his neon impressions?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yo, I love Muda, dude. He's so funny.
He really is. You know, if he had Muda memes, I wouldn't be surprised. And then you play a sad song in the back and it's just like, you know what? I feel you, Muda. I feel you, man.
Yeah. Well, for now, Boom Esports on the back of that timeout themselves have gotten themselves to that B site, it seems. They've heard that wall being deployed, so the shear is going to keep them back for some time at least. They're going to go for the trigger. A deep smoke once again. Nate to come on through. And see Slasher. He's going to flash on the back of that trigger, I feel. They're going to cross it all together. That's going to be the plan. Is Global Esports ready for this?
Urotan had moved out the way. They thought he had flushed him out, but he just walked back inside. Now, they would rush out and that wall goes up and immediately they put that, the Razer vines there. Trying to challenge. Torrent's already up there. Arc Rose to help them down here. Urotan puts in the damage, playing so well with Kelly S. But Shiro has already breached Hookah side. Oh, timing. I'm sure Shiro had actually saw the pixel moving away here, and he's gonna try and backstab. He might here. Spots nothing.
No, they know it.
Smokes up already.
30 seconds left.
Shiro's just waiting in the smokes. This off angle might give him value. 1, 2, 3, but is Urotan to win it in the end? Urotan! Belong is his playground and we just live here, honestly. Berserk's all alone. 13 seconds to go. 1-on-4?
10 seconds
High-low
left.
setups? Berserk is just gonna have to concede defeat. This how many rounds has Boom Esports forced to save already?
Boom, once again, in a bit of trouble on that B long side. Too much damage from the utility that was developed. And of course, it had to be Yudotan once again to try and save the day. Berserks,
Now
I
we
feel
wait.
like he could have been a lot more useful if he would have pushed in with Shiro through that smoke. Could have gone together, but they were pretty far apart from each other and had no time. Final round of the first half. A bunch of ultimates could develop here again. Look at Yudotan's got his not dead yet in a one orb. And so does, I believe, LES. But Boom have denied control of that orb, and Famousine's gonna eat it up for himself, as now he's got the showstopper.
Showstopper online, moving at the tail end of that Trailblazer as well. Udotan, a nice swing out, but Shiro quick to find one more to his name. But Udotan has not been moved yet, not dead yet. He's not done. He's still going for blood here, waiting patiently the smokes. He's gonna set it up, but Shiro putting in that pressure finally finds him in the end. Steel Garden gonna cause the other members of Boom Esports to completely leave, as DOS9 just completely just broken already, wall banged to death.
Yeah, and he had the spike as well. The players who teleported away, they just did not have an idea, or maybe they just forgot that he had it. Now it's all to Berserks.
Oh my
He takes
god,
the first.
Berserks! Crystal here, I don't think they've spotted him out quite yet here. Kellyas has not been moved here. Good straight. Last man standing, Kellyas! What? Oh man, I'm really impressed by the members of Global Esports' repositionings. Playing off that info so quickly. And the way they played off each other, they don't really double peek in a way that you expect them to. It's big swings. It's a reposition to main. You don't expect them to be there.
Yeah. They're just aware of everything. Global Esports right now, they're playing a perfect game so far. At least the last round, you could say. Good understanding of how to rotate, where to rotate. Once again, Patrick, he did enough to just get Yudotan the 2 kills that he needed. The stun was there, but he himself has not been able to frag out the way he wants to. Whereas on the other end, Famousine, he too is having a bit of a slow game. Duel is not up to, you know, their best selves just yet, but we've known Boom Esports to be their second half esports team. So don't count them out just yet. Okay, where the hell is this guy going?
All the way to the back, to the spawn! But Shiro punishes, but at the cost of a majority of his life. Udotan, he did a double take. NC Slasher almost missed that, wins it out in the end here. Forced out of his sight already. Pops that flash as well. Shiro with only 3 HP, quickly just moved out the way as well. NC Slasher has to wait out that smoke. Global Esports, they have other things in mind. They've put themselves over in elbow. Trying to see if we can catch anyone in the midst of rotation. I think DOS9 suspects this. They got the flash already, the Arc Rose. They know he's inside there, but the members of Boom Esports just completely swarm Global Esports. And they get the round.
A really confusing strat here, in my opinion, from Global Esports. They sent Patrick all the way to their spawn, and I thought that, you know, okay, maybe this is a trick to just make him go all the way there, you know, somehow crawl his way through, and then they're gonna go B because he got in so far deep in enemy lines within just, what, 20 seconds? So instantly they twisted back their ways towards B. But the problem with that is, once they found Patrick, they realized that Global Esports are not gonna have to rotate into that B side, mostly from hookah, so they took control of B long. NT Slasher staying alive there was the biggest thing he could do. Pressure on Global Esports, funnel them into elbow, and that's all they needed to finish off the round.
He spotted out the Arc Rose, and it just pushes Shiro away from his off angle. You see Hans, you see smokes. It's chaos here, you can't see anything. Boom Esports patient. Jump shot forward, Kellyas answers. And NC Slasher as well does find one to his name. You can see here the slide is good. But for DOS9, he's quick to answer. Global Esports effort playing this corner to perfection. Berserk finds one. Poppy with a classic! Gonna find two to his name. Leaving Famous with only this outlaw to work with. There's gun upgrades too. Global Esports, they're not shy to take it. And Famous has positioned himself on the B site already. Anyone crosses, he's able to get shots upon shots. He has 2 to buy some time. Now the smoke has dissipated as well. 30 seconds to go.
One enemy remaining.
But wow! Oh my god! Famous! As expected! He puts in a damage with that outlaw, and Global Esports, they could not even retaliate.
That's kind of what I was expecting to happen as well. He had the outlaw, right? And he didn't fire any bullets. I'm pretty sure that in 2 quick successions, Famazine could just destroy them, and he did exactly that. Was confused for the first second as to where exactly they could come, maybe to a repeat of the pistol round where they, cycle through elbow and go in towards the A side. But no, he's ready for it, and 2 amazing shots there. Because even if he had missed one, I think it would have been Global Esports winning that round.
Can see the Razer Vines activated already.
They've taken to the B site. And Berserks is alone here, by the way. He's got to set up. Boom Esports pretty heavy on that A side. Committing to that read. And the orb being taken up by Crystal on B long. Berserks is going to call this out, but Boom still not interested in rotating over. Instead, they expect Global Esports to actually TP, but no, Poppy has made his way all the way back towards B. He's got all 3 smokes left, and he's got so much help along with him. Those tripwires, I'm not sure they're going to be strong enough to stop this 5-man attack.
Gunshots all around, but it's just to really show presence, if anything. Majority of the members of Boom Esports are all the way onto A here. The tripwire does get triggered. Berserks reacts. Good to find Patrick who? He's just quickly going to reposition himself away. With that sound, the members of Boom Esports is going to quickly reposition themselves, rotating over. Berserks falls. Now Udotan, an aggressive stance here from the other side of smokes. A nice cross, a flash onto side as well, but look at that. Coming through here, Crystal sprays. Poppy good for 1 end, he's landed by Crystal. Kallias from 1 end. What a spray transfer, what a hole! Kallias is our main character this round.
I feel no empathy for them.
Great initiation there once again from the IGO. Initially, 2 players got caught here from the tripwires, and I was like, okay then, maybe not the best of scenarios to be in, but then Kelly S jumps on top, takes things into his own hands, and finishes off the round. Realizes that they're just pistols, we don't need to be scared to peek them, just peek them together. Global Esports clearly have a bit of, I would say, kind of have a ick towards these eco rounds.
Yeah, but for now, we're just gonna go for a quick pause as well. Now, let's talk a little bit, Universe. What exactly is happening here? I mean, there was a bit of a lead set up by Global Esports earlier, but what is Boom Esports doing right now?
Boom Esports do have a good game plan. I feel like they're focusing a lot on the retake. They're not going aggressive on the defensive side. They're not pushing out on towards the main part of the regions where you could find Global Esports off-guarded. By the regions, I mean A short and hookah. 2 regions where Global Esports are not too keen on pushing. They just keep hollow control. They hold off 1 player there and make sure that nobody's pushing off of that place from Boom Esports. If they read into that really quickly, because so far, Global Esports have only been attacking either showers or B long, and it's been giving them the success. Because Boom Esports end up fighting them in those exact same places, and the utility dump from Global Esports is so high that you're just not able to hold off their attack. In the previous round, they had a stack on that A side, did not rotate until the very last second when Berserk said, okay, I've gotten 1 kill, now they're coming in here. That's when the rotation started to come in. So they were really committed to the fact that this is going to be an A hit. Similar reads like this, maybe 2 or 3 times could throw them into a mix, but it wasn't eco, so we're going to let that slide. I feel like Global Esports, Boom Esports right now, should be taking 2 steps forward, set up Famazine with that op in good positions towards maybe A short, take an aggressive stance, get a pick, and get back out. That's going to be really good, because Famazine is really good on that operator, and I feel like he's got the ability to take a pick and instantly get back out of dodge. So if they're able to put that into good use, Global Esports will be in trouble.
Honestly, Okay, this has nothing to do with what you said earlier, but I am curious about one thing. Does it actually help when you have these flashing lights and sounds when you practice?
I mean, it's the best thing they could come up with, right? To kind of simulate the onstage scenario,
The onstage feel,
environment.
the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a speaker in the background as well that's simulating
wait,
the
real?
fan noises. Yeah, yeah, I mentioned that earlier too. They've got a speaker somewhere in the background there where they're simulating loud fan noises, you know, desk bangs and all that stuff. So they've got sound cues in the background. There are also flashes light constantly above them, around them, just to give them the feel of how it is to be on the VCT stage. And hopefully this is going to help them gain that experience, and maybe we're going to be doing more of these as well in the future, so that global esports can constantly keep playing, you know, in scenarios like these where they're pressured in to just kind of hone their skills and playing as good teams.
You know, coming into this one, right? I love when teams actually kind of set their, you know, doing this extra stuff. You never really think about these things when you're practicing, you know? And I think that's also kind of the reason why, you know, tier 1 teams are just so different. Regardless, we're finally back into this game this time. Oh, we have lineups.
Yeah, seems like it. We're going for a set play here from Global Esports, and the Razer Runs are going to push them inside the shower side, and there's a reveal as well. That is brilliant, but the holdup is great.
Oh my god! Really gotta give it to DOS9. Ballsy to be able to hold down showers that way.
He's gotten control of the spike right now, whereas Global Esports, both the players are splitting up currently.
Famous?
Which is an interesting shot. Yeah, and like I said, I called it. The operator, it was kind of obvious for them to actually set him up in good positions.
No!
No, never mind.
Oh man, DOS9 was not expecting that. He was expecting someone to come in from outside of showers. Sometimes this game gets so confusing, right? You have no clue who's attacking or defending at one point. They just walk in like it's anyone's sight. Now all eyes onto Heaven's area. A 1-on-3 here. Shiro's positioned himself all the way near the spawn. But Udo-chan, the flash comes through. It's enough info for him already. 20 seconds to go. He has a lot of time to plant. But it's a matter of trying to isolate these fights. Not going to be able to because Boom Esports react so quickly.
Yeah, a bit of a decision-making lapse there from Global Esports, and a couple of really good counter utility pieces coming in from Boom. That Molotov from DOS9 was absolutely amazing. The timing of it, because the minute he put down that Molotov, only one person could get through. Who? Patrick. And the minute he slid out, he got damage from the molly, and the bullets were ready for him right in the face. And on top of that, he finished off a player behind him in the smoke as well. DOS9 did not know that this kind of a hit was coming. This kind of set play. The set play was great from Global Esports. Don't mistake me on that. But the readjustment from Boom, Berserks, and DOS9 did amazingly well to destroy 3 players there together.
Wow, aggressive lineups already, and Boom Esports are completely ready for that. Breaking the utility as it went down here. Doing a good job of just reading the team. They've already taken control of B-Long as well here, but Kelly, yes. As soon as that arc rose hits, they are gonna immediately react on it. Fast lane up already. And the Steel Garden goes live. GE, no follow-ups quite yet, and somehow Shiro managed to get a pick-off onto Kelly S with his snake bite. Poppy had made his way slowly into U-Haul already. The Prowler comes up here. No one is close here, and Patrick, who cannot hold on. As the members of Boom Esports find GE one by one. Udo-chan to fight Berserks. But Crystal left alone here inside showers. Gonna be spotted out by that Roomba eventually. Thought about going inside of showers, but thinks twice about it. He has a spike. He can try and pop off hits. And I think for Boom Esports, they may have an idea that he may have rotated
30
off.
seconds
They've
left.
positioned themselves all the way near CT side.
Yeah, they're just going to let him play his game, play for the plant here. They don't need to give him anything. But Crystal, while he might get the plant down, he's searching for a weapon. Does have one available right next to his feet. Picks it up. 10 seconds.
10
Has to go
seconds
down
left.
for the
I'll
plant
find
here.
you.
Throws in a recon just to clear off. Has a smoke to play with.
down.
And it's a 1v3.
Bam.
A
My ult is
lot
ready.
of sprays coming through here. Anti-slasher falls, but not DOS9. Insane performance from Boom Esports.
I just want to point out, big
Yeah, what's
decision
up?
here from Global Esports. That Steel Garden, the minute it was popped right here, right now, it was supposed to make a fair fight for Global Esports. Then, once again, one single Molotov stopping them from even executing that. DOS9's utility has saved them 3 rounds in a row now, and Boom Esports are on a flying roll right now because of that Brimstone. One Molotov has been saving them because that Steel Garden was absolutely of no use.
Displaced already by that Prowler, famous. Now to quickly TP, but there's someone, his teammates are waiting for him. Does get tagged by that Prowler eventually. They're all on A side here. With only 2 members of Boom Esports watching over B. But these 2 players, they can put in damage. We've seen it happen before. See that Yokam forced back by that snake bite. Or you see the metal thrown out as well here. Shiro gonna find Urotan, but Yokam to fall on the backside here. Not dead yet, alive. But it's gonna be a barbecue by DOS9 onto Yokam.
I'm done.
DOS9 perfection. 3 members downed already. And somehow Global Esports left with only 1 player left before it just pops by Famous. 10 to Boom Esports' name. And they are making their lead bigger and bigger.
Right now, it's not Global Esports against Boom Esports. Right now, it's Global Esports. First skill DOS9, then versus Boom Esports. This guy has been a tyrant for 4 rounds in a row. He's read them perfectly. Once again, what's the win condition? His utility, his Molotovs, his ultimate. And then, of course, if you get past all of that, you've got his bullets coming your way. DOS9 is an absolute monster right now. And he's been making plays of his life so far. Global Esports have not found a single way to outmaneuver his utility pieces because they're getting out of the smoke. Yes, was the first point of contact Yuratan. Why? Because he has a not dead yet. The trade comes in, Yuratan comes back online. But what DOS, the ultimate causes more chaos, makes them head into difficult positions, and then proceeds to find his right fights. He's been absolutely amazing so far, and Boom have to give all the credit to him. And to be fair, I feel like he's gotten great support around the site as well. The reason why he's succeeding so well is because Boom's reads from Shiro of positioning him on showers or on B site for the last 5-6 rounds have been perfection.
I agree. I mean, I was gonna say, DOS9 was the shining player from VCLSA last season, right? All eyes were on him. And I thought that this change would kind of like make him struggle, but he seems to really thrive with this team. Bit of a quiet game the first 2 maps, but now he's online. He feels good.
Kelly S needs to stop his duelist right now. But there's a tripwire there to stop him. He's going to go through it pretty quickly. They need to break it down.
They're trying to break it, actually, yeah.
Yeah, the Showers control has been taken up by Global Esports, but nowhere else on the map have they shown any kind of presence. B is completely uncontested, and that's going to give Famazine maybe a little bit of relaxation to rotate over to the A side. That's why Boom have not moved an inch anywhere from that A side. They're feeling completely comfortable. They know that Global Esports have not shown anything on B, and they don't need to be worried right now. Even Hookah was just cleared off with a flash from NT Slasher, and that's just going to make things so much more easier for Boom.
Util does buy a bit of time, but we already have 1 member of Global already on the site. Shiro from the smokes. So is Patrick Hu. But Molly buys a bit of space for them. They get the plant.
Spike planted.
Not denied at all. Despite the pain shells, the amount of pressure coming through here. Famous, quick to react. Copy gets knocked down. And the other members too. Neural theft activated, and GE, their whole positions, gonna be exposed to the whole team of Boom Esports. Slasher.
Yeah.
It's gonna be massive. And it is. Good for 1. And in fact, good for the whole team even. Boom Esports, they thrive on buying this time.
11-8. Once again, it is like I mentioned, they were showing no presence on B, right? NT Slasher had control of B long completely. He threw in a flash outside of Hookah to clear that as well. This was a very, very easy round for Boom Esports because they read it perfectly. Once again, the setup of Patrick was completely only to take the control of the front site. They put down 2 smokes on the left and right of green boxes. But then what? Where are you going to go and take your fights? You're going to plant down short, but you need some picks. You need to kind of step up a little bit. You're going to spread out in an eco round. Not going to work for you. Global Esports in huge trouble right now of trying to maintain map control against their opponents, because look at where DOS9 is currently positioned. He's got Showers all by himself thanks to the flash from NT Slasher. This is, I believe, Paper X had done this in VCD season, and yeah, things are just crumbling for Global Esports right now.
Scout destroyed.
I don't have an answer at all on how exactly to execute. Regardless of whether it's a strong or weak side, they just can't break the defenses. With a bit more pressure, we already have the pit set up as well. Yeah, you have that space onto Octagon, you have the space onto the front of site. But can you get on is the question. They're forced off.
Now, Global Esports just looking for anything at this point, any form of information. And while all this is happening, by the way, guys, remember, DOS9 is still sitting in that TP. If that tripwire towards Shower is triggered, if that's where Global Esports decide to go, then this is going to be a problem. But it doesn't seem like it. Smokes down on site for short. A little bit of detection coming in, and Boom Esports ready for the fight.
Still have trips. Kelly, yes, just pushes through that cage as well. Dodges the dart. Nearly TP. And they immediately get denied by the orbital strike. Arc Row set up already. GE just flies on the zone. Famous! His showstopper just finds 2 as the rest just completely swarm. And that's been the biggest problem that Global Esports is facing right now. The swarm and the collapse of the members onto the rest of Global Esports.
I'm sorry, this was one of the most amazing rounds I've seen from Shiro just yet. The call to not rotate at the last 15 seconds, hold on that B side with more members than you were at A, even though they deployed 2 smokes, a flash, a Razer right, and everything. This man has a giga brain working right now against Global Esports, and they're just getting outplayed in the mental as well as physical game. There's just no way Boom Esports were gonna let them get away with that. How clean are these reads from Shiro?
Chiku here. Left side, stunned up. Fast lane as well to give them the space, but immediately reacts off the util. Famous for 1 and so is Shiro, but GE, Udo-tan, and Kelly has spent 1 each as well. Crystal gonna be tagged in by that trip, but this time around, there's no one to actually follow up for that. Spike does get initiated here, but the question is whether or not they can hold this. For the past few rounds, Global Esports has not been able to withstand the retakes from Boom Esports here. Berserks to put in that pressure. But Global Esports this time positioning themselves onto main. 1 onto Hookah as well to see if anyone were to go in those flanks. Immediately the C's comes through, they move backwards. DOS9 falls. Famous only good for 1. There's still 1 more to worry about here. But with an op to go for a retake, it might be hard here. Playing out the util might be the way to go here, but Udo-tan denying any access from CT. Crystal gonna move in and out here, and finally, Global Esports get another round.
Make
Yeah,
them fear your weapon.
it's a difficult one as well after giving up at least 4, maybe 5 rounds today. It's towards the end of the game here. They finally get 1 back, but it's not going to be enough because they need to put up 3 more in a row to at least find something. And I believe that Boom are going to continue on making themselves available to every part of the map. Right now, Famazine is going to travel in towards Showers, and he's going to find Crystal alongside the Brimstone swinging out, but the smoke's been deployed early on. Tripwire has been put down as well. So Showers control already in the hands of Boom Esports at the moment, as Global Esports right now playing for a bit of default, waiting for information. A site, by the way, completely has been rendered pointless by GE because nobody's watching short, not even if anybody's pushing that direction. And they're heading in as a split push in towards the B site.
Scout destroyed.
This time around, they immediately get the scout gets destroyed already as well. Now for Udo-tan, Gonna go for an aggressive stance here, walk up as his teammates go quickly to pivot onto the A site there. Walking up with the rest of the teammates there. Wonder if Udotan would be able to get a pick off here somehow.
Bit of a stalemate. Famazine still holding up short. There is a wall there on the other side just to hold for the flank, but his first contact is to come in. This is the shot. There comes the nade and the stun, and he's gonna have to get back.
Patrick Wu just walking straight up onto the side, but Famous still has not been moved at all from U-Haul. Kelly S falls.
Spike planted.
Mrs. Slasher somehow managed to pick. But here comes the Nightfall as well. Famous moved out the way here, and Patrick Wu from the other end just holding down the line backside. Marching out to the side here. The C is already set up here, and the sprays are true! Patrick Wu back in the game. Aggressive as ever. Berserks to worry about here. Overdrive will be popped as well just to buy a little bit more space. Putting in the damage, and Crystal is there! Playing off his teammate. And now we hit a 10 for Global Esports.
Again, extremely hard fought here. Had to come down to the very end. A little bit of attention seeking from Patrick so that Crystal could play from the background and be the hero. But those first two kills, the C's and that slide, absolutely amazing. These two have been doing good work for the last 2 rounds. Crystal, of course, been on top of things, but it's still 10 to 12. Global Esports have so much work to do. The operator, by the way, still active on Famazine's hands, and Showers once again taken away. Global Esports, back they go towards B. A bit of a miss on the lineup there from Kelly S, which means B long is still open for the taking for NC Slasher.
Walls up, trips already set up here. GE has a lot to deal with right now. Steel Garden set up already. Fortunately, one more time. He's gonna get caught by the trip and will eventually go down to the molly. That is painful! But Kelly S is there at the very least. Walls up already. NC Slasher being very patient. But 2 members of GE threw that smokes. But the same could be said about Boom Esports here. Waiting for the smokes to do though. They both swing and they both fall. DOS9 putting in the damage. Kelly S at least finds one to his name. Rendered so low here. Kelly S missed by a hairline for that Trailblazer before finally Crystal gets knocked down too. And now Global Esports not able to win it. And now Boom Esports will be taking the first win between these 2 Tier 1 teams of Pacific.
Global Esports tried really hard, but unfortunately that control onto elbow was just not going in their favor. Boom were more than ready for that fight. They expected that fight, and they were just absolutely on point with their positions to take it. 2 different targets on 2 different angles. It was not even an up and down so that they could line up. And Global Esports will suffer another loss in these show matches. But ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, this is just for them to gain some experience. A lot of people I know are going to be disappointed with this, but they've got 2 more months of the season, and so do Boom. Things going to be changing pretty soon here.
You know, granted that this team has just been formed, right? I think compared to the core of Boom Esports, they're doing pretty well. I think it must have been such a big shift as well for both teams if you think about it. These 2 teams. I mean, granted that the players from GE just came through from Tier 2, and Boom Esports just, ascended from Tier 2. Regardless, in this game, you really gotta give it to DOS9 and Famous, especially DOS9 in my opinion, because DOS9, the last 2 maps, he was very, very quiet. You really didn't really see him really shine like he did when he previously played on the big stages of South Asia. But on map 3, it was as though he woken up and he started just really denying space and playing off the back of utility from his teammates. It looked so good.
Yeah, absolutely. He was an absolute menace once again with his utility. He was so clinical with when to use his Molotov. Again, in the last round, what happened here?
Yeah.
It was Patrick going down to a Molotov again. So it's been his game so far. DOS9 has had overall the most impactful series. Famazine chipping in with that operator. Like I said, it was almost...
Yeah, as soon as he picked up the op, it was over.
Exactly. Like I said, the minute they set up Famazine in good angles to get that operator, which they did exactly at that exact same round when we discussed right before the timeout, was when the game just flipped on its head. Global Esports did try to brute force their way into that B side to maybe work it in a different sense, in a way that they wanted to kind of force Boom off their angle. Don't let them even come in for that retake. Pick off the most important players. But in the end, Boom realized it. They waited for Global Esports to make their move, and then were just ready for an expectant fight that they knew that they were going to win.
You know, I think it's really important as well that they managed to shut down Patrick Hu here, because I think in the last map or so on Split, the biggest problem has been Patrick Hu for Boom Esports, understanding that he's so good at taking up space, he's been a menace, and you always have Crystal playing off of him and just really providing that fire from the backside when they're so distracted by him. Now in this game, you've seen so many times how Shiro has been able to flank him, Berserk's being able to kind of like knock him down before the slide ends, and I think that's the biggest problem they're facing, because when Patrick Hu goes down so quickly, it gives Boom Esports so much space to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, right, we've got some amazing reads from Shiro in those last 5-6 rounds that they won in a row. You know, even when Global Esports was selling a fake at 15 seconds of the round left, he didn't let his team rotate. He said, just stand your ground. They're not going to be able to do anything. And it's just overall his planning to set up where DOS9 is going to be playing, where he's going to be playing, to make sure that they both are the anchors of the site. And the utility placement on the back of those calls from DOS9 was amazing. And of course, to top it all off, NC Slasher's constant information, dipping out from that Elon position. He got so much out of his utility as well. Overall, the backline of Boom Esports was solid today, so that Famazine could shine.
Really, I completely agree.